The Sara Show.
Enjoying this rum this morning. Good morning, right, yous lot at home. I say sat, you say day. Sat. Well done. On with the show. Here we go. Let's plunge headfirst into the joy pool that is today's guest. More effervescent than a Barocca jacuzzi. Does her fun look big in this? Yes, because she's super fun and very funny. It's Arabella Weir. Now, when I heard we had a brilliant Joyner on the show, I was well chuffed. You see, I've got these two kitchen cabinets on the wonk, see? And then I realised it was excellent actor Joyner. Oh, sorry about that, Joe. Now, if you think Bears Den is a monthly night for cuddly hirsute men at Throb nightclub just outside of Dundee, think again. It's actually a very good band, and Kev and Davey will be playing for us live later on. Now, if your weekend plans are looking as appetising as an oyster smoothie, fear not. We've got brilliant things for you. Excellent days out, top-notch telly. We will basically sort you right out. We're going to kick off the conversational conga now with a little nugget of knowledge. Catch, Arabella. Oh, very good. Very, very good. On this day in 1985, the legendary Live Aid concerts were held at Wembley Stadium and the JFK Stadium in Philadelphia with iconic performances from Elton John, George Michael, Madonna and, of course, Queen. Joe, are you old enough to remember Live Aid being on the telly?
Thank you so much for asking. Yeah, it's a good question. I've done the maths. I was 8.
Yes.
So, yeah, I do remember the record.
Yes.
The record. Who said that? Yeah, but not, you know, I'm not totally up on it.
Yeah. Vinyl's back, babe. It's fine. You can say
it's okay now, isn't it?
It's fine.
Totally.
Kevin Davey, you were way too young. It was happening around the time you were being birthed, I think. I mean, have you been to any legendary concerts yourself? What's the biggest gig you've been to?
Well, we actually just supported Neil Young in Germany, which was pretty amazing.
Well,
and that was lots of people, and that was terrifying and really fun as well.
What's a German Neil Young audience look like?
Lots of beards, lots of long hair, lots of beer
old
bellies.
people.
Yeah, exactly.
Arabella, I imagine you'll obviously remember Live Aid. I remember watching it on the telly.
I'm ashamed to say that I wasn't that interested in any of the bands playing, so I wasn't that interested in it. Obviously, I was interested in the concept and what they were doing.
Of course.
But
You're very charitable.
the best gig I ever went to in my life was a Gregory Isaacs.
Why was it so good? What was it about it that made
It was long before, you know, he was right there and then people got up on stage and danced. It was, you know, it was long before people had security.
Yeah.
And it had a very kind of live, real feel to it.
Arabella, we've got to talk to you about Edinburgh. You're heading up there with Does My Mum Loom Big in This?
Very good.
Yes, very good. Which is obviously a very clever play on words from Does My Bum Look Big in This? We've got to touch briefly on that character and also the girl. Is it the girl that men couldn't hear?
Well, the idea was that the character was a generic woman.
Yeah.
And she would be in a meeting with or a doctor or a woman in the street giving directions, whatever it was. She was a generic woman who would say something that was intelligent and interesting and relevant to the situation and that nobody could hear her, and then a bloke in the same scene would say exactly what she'd said and everyone would go, oh my God, that's a brilliant idea, why don't we do that? I'm afraid to say I was mainly doing it because that's what it was pretty much like working on the Fast Show.
Yeah.
I'd say things and all the guys would go, what, oh, should we get a sandwich? And I go, I'm in the middle of doing a sketch. And they go, yeah, all right. So, yeah, I mean, they're all my friends, but I did feel that, and that is
and
how
did they get it? So when you introduced, were they like...
When I came up with the character, a couple of them went, I don't understand why this is funny, and Simon Day went, no, it's us. And then everyone went, oh, we'll better do it then. But yeah.
So does my mum loom big in this? Your show in Edinburgh, your first time in Edinburgh.
My first ever solo show.
First ever solo show. And are you going to embrace Edinburgh because it's notorious for being full-on, quite boozy, late nights?
No, obviously not. There'll be none of that.
No.
I'll be doing a 4 o'clock show, an early tea, and then a bath bed. No, the struggle... I know a lot of people at Edinburgh, and most of them are younger than me, so it'll be... yes, it'll be a struggle not to sort of join in a I can be as fun as you way. But yeah, no, I'm really, really looking forward to it, and it's really exciting. I know Edinburgh very well anyway, because my mum and dad were both from just outside Edinburgh.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm excited about it.
And tell us a little bit about the show. So it draws on family life and your relationship with your mum.
Yes. The whole reason I came up with Does My Bum Look Big in This is because my mother was convinced that her life would be better and my life would be perfect if I was thin. So she went on about my weight and eating a lot. So for kind of battle, I suppose, I came up with Does My Bum Look Big in This?
Yeah.
And then when I was writing this show, I thought, well, I'll just sort of go through my relationship with my mother, but also from the perspective of being a mother myself now and having an understanding of how hard it is. And it was even harder for women of my mother's generation because there was no acknowledgement of being a mother, being a hard job. And then my mother was a single mother. And yes, so
she struggled, but having said that, she was downright cruel to you, wasn't she?
She was not kind.
She was very tough.
She was very unkind, very exacting, very critical, but that's how she'd been treated as a child. So she sort of just passed the baton on, as so many people do, instead of going, I think I might challenge this way of parenting.
And you've said recently that even on her deathbed, she was still... And you were kind of like...
Yes, I was visiting her in hospital, and it was lunchtime, so I took my lunch so that I could be there for ages, and I was not thinking about dieting, because she was in the middle of dying. And I happened to take my favourite sandwich, which is a coronation chicken sandwich. And she's a few days away from death, and she goes, oh, my God, have you any idea how many calories there are in mayonnaise? And I went, Mum, we're really not going to do this at the end. And she went, yes, but look at you. And I went, no, we're all right, Mum.
Gosh.
She couldn't let it go.
No.
But it was her sort of thing.
Yeah.
You know, it was meat and drink to her.
Yeah.
I absolutely made my peace with my mum, and there was lots that was great about her, and not least of all because I decided to understand her background and therefore why she behaved that way.
Which is it's really healthy, obviously, for you to get a hold of it like that. How's that impacted on your parenting? Because would there be a danger of you being like, my mum was so tough on me, I'm now going to be one of those... Because, you know, those mums who go, we're more like friends, we go clubbing together at the weekend, which would be like my
No, I
worst
don't do any
idea.
of that. I do.
Did you indulge them a lot, do you think?
I won't give up my passion for Drake, which they want me to. And I do quite a lot of expert versions of his dances, which they absolutely hate. When I said I was doing this live show, I said to my daughter, look, I'm going to do a show about mothers and daughters. And she went, for God's sake, don't do the Drake dance. And I went, I'm afraid I'm going to do the Drake dance. That's going to be my show highlight.
Once you've finished the Edinburgh Fringe, exhausted like a husk of your former self.
Yes,
you are then
going into rehabilitation centre.
Yeah, after rehab, you're going to go on the road with the show, is that right?
Yeah, I'm going to do a tour early next year, all around the country. I'll do a lot of gigs in Scotland because of my popularity, because of Two Doors Down, but also because I'm Scottish originally. I know I sound really Scottish. Yeah, so I'll be all over the country and a bit in London, and I'm really looking forward to it.
Will your kids come and watch? Do they ever come and watch sort of things?
My son let me rehearse the show the other day, and I went, I'm about to get to a bit you really don't want to hear. And he went, no, just do it. And I went, you really don't want to hear this bit. It was about him when he was little and his bottom parts. And he went, no, you're all right. And then when his sister, my daughter, came in the room, he said, actually, look, it's not that bad. Get Mum to do the Drake dance for you. And she went, no. And she went, yeah, all right, do it. So
the Drake
I don't know
dance
if they'll
is kind
see
of
it.
like water on a witch for your kids. They're like, yeah, melting.
Yeah, I think any mum dancing, but particularly to someone who's, you admire when you're 20 is pretty bad.
Yeah. Me and my husband were having a big one down at the school summer gala a couple of weeks ago. The kids were like, no, my eyes are burning. I'm like, come on, babe. I'm like reeling him in.
Oh, no, that's torture. I can't imagine anything worse than it being your parents together. This is just me.
Doing raunchy dancing together. Time to introduce y'all to Betty here. She plays the tunes handpicked by my fabulous guests, and then she pops them on onto our Spotify playlist. Hey, Betty girl. Very good. Now then, just go with it. Arabella, if you ask her nicely, she'll play you a song.
Betty, will you play my chosen song?
Yes. Come. Oh, there's them. That is great.
That's pretty good. He's doing the dog in the back of a car.
Oh, wow. I'm kind of jealous that.
This is a great tune.
Oh, this is the best. This is the definitive disco song.
Very good. And is it a song you're fond of? Is it from a special occasion or a moment?
Well, funnily enough, talking about my kids hating me dancing, that is the song that I got them to dance with me in the kitchen to, and now they just love it. So that's the one thing guaranteed. If I put that on, they'll go, yeah, all right. And I am allowed to dance to that, and they will dance with me. But the Drake is just...
Yeah, too much. It's too much. You can see Arabella's show, Does My Mum Loom Big in This, at the Edinburgh Festival this August. Arabella Weir, everyone. Isn't she great? Very good. Time for a quick break now, but do come back as we'll be entering the bear's den when they sing for us. Don't worry. We'll see you in a growl.